Estimados amigos, chers amis, distinguished guests, dear Pauline Green and world cooperative leaders, my warmest greetings to you all as you gather in Cancun. This message comes to you with the strength of my long-standing belief in cooperative ideals and my support for cooperative action. The ILO is pleased to join the ICA in the launch of the UN International Year of Cooperatives. Your movement and the ILO converge on the objective of social justice in and through the world of work. Your movement nurtures so much of what is needed in the world today. I think of the values of solidarity, equity, participation and empowerment, as well as a model of business based on those values. In communities all over the world, cooperatives keep food on the table, the water running, the credit flowing, jobs secure, and most importantly, hope growing. Let me note that cooperatives have proven to be an effective channel for promoting gender equality in very diverse circumstances. You know, this distinctive blend of values and a vehicle for action places your movement squarely on any roadmap to social justice. Rooted in the real economy and the reality of people's lives, you, all of you together, are agents of change in building fairer, more inclusive, and equitable societies. So with so much in common since our founding in 1919, the ILO has had a close relationship with the cooperative movement. Among other things, we have systematically advocated the cooperative form of enterprise, promoted an enabling legislation and policy environment for cooperatives, provided technical support for cooperative development in the areas of job creation and social protection, and applied our standard-setting system to cooperative development in these last years, for example, through the Recommendation 193 on the promotion of cooperatives. You are a force to be reckoned with. You know that well, but I will just mention some figures because I found them quite impressive. With nearly 1 billion members, cooperatives provide 100 million jobs. The top 300 cooperatives and mutuals have aggregate sales of $1.6 trillion. You provide financial services to over 850 million people. And 50% of agricultural output is marketed through cooperatives. You know that, but it is very important that the world knows that also. And so you have big challenges ahead. Let me endorse what Dame Pauline Green said. We need to demonstrate that the values and principles, and I quote her, that have inspired a movement for nearly 200 years are even more relevant today, and that we collectively, addressing you, she says, are a movement of creativity, innovation, and flair that is producing solutions to the problems of today's world. Dame Pauline, let me say that I particularly loved the word flair put into that quote. We have experienced the worst crisis since the 1930s. That's where we are today. And the global scenario is one of imbalance, inequity, and uncertainty. And a double-dip recession is looming ahead. In this interconnected global economy, fates are intertwined, as is well recognized in the ILO's constitution, which states, and I quote it, "Poverty anywhere is a threat to prosperity everywhere." And let me highlight some facts to show what we are dealing with today. Globally, 3,500 billion people have the same income as the top 61 million people. 3.5 billion equal to 61 million. Can you imagine that? More than 200 million are officially unemployed worldwide, including nearly 80 million young women and men, and the figure is growing as we speak now. Already before the crisis, half of total employment outside agriculture was in the informal economy, and 2 workers in 5 worldwide lived below the poverty threshold of $2 per person a day. Only 1 out of 5 persons has access to adequate social protection, and nearly 1 billion suffer from chronic hunger. So the bottom line is this is unfair, and increasingly too many people feel excluded, that they do not matter, they're not important. Some banks are too big to fail, some people too small to matter. But you and I and the ILO know that the future can be different. And as we know, across all regions, there is a growing mobilization for a future with greater equity, with more participation, with people feeling that somebody cares for them, that they don't have to be asking every day, and what about us, when they see that banks all over the world are saved and, and their social protection is cut. The ILO has highlighted the need for a different model of growth, a pattern for people that is equitable, both socially and economically, to underpin sustainable development. A fundamental step in investing in the decent jobs and social protection that people need. In practical terms, it means investing in the real economy, not in financial gains, especially in small and medium-sized enterprises, and ensuring a fair distribution of income. It means investing in measures that afford a social protection floor and which also empower people and supports demand. Productive and decent work is central to human dignity, to the stability of people's lives and families, to peace in our communities as well as in our societies, to strong, sustainable, efficient economic growth. It is an agenda for rights, jobs, social protection, voice, and organization. But again, you know well, in every crisis lies an opportunity. And I certainly believe that this is an opportunity for cooperatives to shine even more as central actors for a more just, more productive, more balanced societies. The evidence shows that cooperatives are highly resilient in times of crisis, a time when the strength of numbers, the power of organization, and the reassurance of solidarity are all the more appreciated. In responding to the crisis and beyond, cooperatives have a key role to play. Promoting financial inclusion, cooperatives can provide much-needed financial services to micro and small enterprises which support jobs and livelihoods, yet are commonly starved for credit. Providing an efficient model for enterprise development from production to marketing and in the delivery of services. And extending social protection through cooperative services. Many things that you can do, but also very important with your opinion on what a fair economic system is about, because much of what you do is about getting a much fairer economic system in place. Dear friends, the International Year offers a great opportunity to promote awareness of the success and reach of the cooperative enterprise, creating jobs, protecting people, defending rights, giving voice, and the strength that comes from organization. So I and the ILO look forward to continue working with you in a strong partnership to ensure that cooperatives have the space and support they need to be effective entrepreneurs of a better world, because that is what I think you are. You are entrepreneurs of a better world. And we count on the cooperative movement and its partners to join with the ILO and others in the world in striving for a new era of growth with social justice. And let me say thanks to you, cooperators, for your leadership, for the values you are upholding, and the examples that you're setting. And if you will permit me, let me end in my mother tongue. Y a mis amigos mexicanos, gracias por ser sede de este gran evento. Tengo a México en mi corazón desde los tiempos difíciles en Chile, los tiempos de la dictadura. Conocí personalmente la solidaridad del corazón mexicano. Y a todos los otros amigos que están en México, les digo que la cooperativa, las cooperativas, los cooperadores, deben estar en el corazón de una nueva era de justicia social en el mundo. Un gran abrazo para todos, con mucho afecto, mucho cariño y una gran convicción en lo que ustedes representan.